this, but we're got. All right, so we're excited to have Jen Winder here as our featured health chef and coach, and we're going to let her share a lot of information. But let me first introduce her, okay? And she's been busy working on some things. She's the founder of livingyourketolife.com and mindset60.com, and we're going to talk a little bit more about that as we go forward. But one of the things that Jen has taught us is that eating healthy does not mean that it has to taste bad. It means instead, healthy choices in food can taste amazing and can be so good for you at the same time. And so, learning to prepare and eat healthy can help us lose weight, but the goal is keeping that weight off long term. And so, one of the things that Jen has expanded her work is also in maintaining a healthy mindset that gives you the power and the purpose to follow through with all of these lifestyle choices. And we'll let her share a little bit more about that journey as we go. But one of the things that kind of led to tonight's Zoom was that we have announced that the new Vital Shake formula is available. It's in the back office. We have a special promotion that we'll announce here in a little bit. But we are so excited at the fact that this formula has in it a lot of things that you already love and are familiar with the macros of the fat and the protein versus the carbohydrates, featuring these amazing these amazing ingredients, including some that you're familiar with already with our spice of life, extremely potent ginger and turmeric. Also, the muscadine grape, right? And all the benefits that come from muscadines. This is included in there as well. And it makes a healthy shake that you can just mix with water, or you can throw it in a blender with fruit or other add-ins. In fact, I'm sure Jen will share some of her favorites with us. But in addition to using it as a shake, which I use every day, we also, thanks to Jen, have an opportunity to take the shake with the turmeric and the sea salt and the ginger and combine them together in some amazing recipes. And this recipe book here, Make It Keto, is authored by Jen. And I think I've tried almost all of these items, Jen, at least most of them.
I'm sure you have.
Yes. Both at home and thanks to you at our events and different things. But I would like to now turn this over to you to kind of talk about this after this video. We've got an old video I wanted to play real quick.
Okay. You want to learn how to cook keto? This is the book you want. I love it because it uses our products. It shows you easy things and delicious food, things that you wouldn't think you could normally eat. And it's available now in the back office, so get it!
I recommend this for everybody in the world. If this is not for you, you're wrong. This is for everybody.
So what I've done is learn new life habits that I'll have for the rest of my life.
It works from the inside out. It worked for me. It'll work for you.
I did it, and so can you.
If we can do it,
You can do it.
Encourage everyone to just try it.
So how long has it been since you've seen that video, Jen?
Okay, I'm like, there's my friends, and I have bangs. I haven't seen that in a long time.
All right, let me spotlight you so everyone can see you and move on to some of these recipes. And I'd also love it if you would go ahead and share your story. So share with us a little bit, Jen.
Wow, how far back? What part do you want me to share, Todd? I feel like my story is ever evolving.
Yeah, well, your journey is wonderful. We'd like to hear about it.
So, it's funny because When I first met you and first started being introduced to these supplements and everything that we were doing, it was like, okay, I'm just going to go for it. I'm going to jump in. And, at the time, keto was kind of new in the headlines. It was coming off as this fad diet. Well, I had done every fad diet, so who cared? Let's try another one. But when I was doing it and I started learning how to cook and how easy it was to change these recipes, and I kind of want to pause right there really quick, because if anybody's listening to this and they're like, keto, another diet, or I don't want the word keto, just take it out. Call it anti-inflammatory way of eating, because that's all it is. It's just using whole foods essentially, and getting rid of the garbage. But when I went down that path, my husband and I had some major health journey benefits. We had, I lost a lot of weight. I lost 58 pounds. My husband lost a bunch of weight. For him, he was able to get off of all of his cholesterol medicine, which he was told he would stay on for the rest of his life, because it was genetic and there was nothing that would change that. And it wasn't just about the way we were eating. Before we even started that, we had already started incorporating so many different supplements in my journey to health and nutrition and wellness, which is exactly how I stumbled across these products. I started learning about things that were good for my body, such as the turmeric and the ginger and all of those things, and incorporating them. I had a son who needed them in his life, and I'm like, well, if they're good enough for him, then we should be taking them too. And we just started seeing all sorts of benefits. I had lifelong eczema, like debilitating eczema, I would say, where I couldn't even open my mouth when I got out of the swimming pool because my cheeks were so dry. They would crack and bleed. That completely disappeared from my life. And what I realized soon into that is that it wasn't so much what was being taken away from what I was eating as much as it was the added nutrients and how my body was processing them, absorbing them, whatever that is. And it caused a huge beneficial impact on myself, my husband, our family, everyone who knew me, because I couldn't stop talking about it. But from that, where people were talking about, oh, it's a diet, and a diet to me is something you do for short term. It's not something that's long term. And I knew that if this was going to be long term for people, the food had to be good. You couldn't feel restricted. You couldn't, there's this whole side of things where it's like people would do it and then get off, and then do it and then get off. You've heard the saying, get off the wagon, I get back on. And I wanted it to just be a continuous round. And so that's where the recipe development came in. And because I had run treatment centers for substance abuse recovery, their kitchens, it started being really easy for me to figure out how to adapt recipes, because I was always working with people's different eating styles. And that's kind of where Make It Keto came from. And so from there, it just took off. I created a recipe website to help lots of people, because a cookbook doesn't do you good if you're not comfortable in the kitchen. So then I had to have videos to show people how to do some of these things. And then all along, we have so many recipes that use these supplements, and we're going to talk a little bit about that tonight. But from there, I realized there was a little bit of a gap of something we were missing, and that was we had all the nutrients, right? We had these amazing nutrient supplements we could take, and we all knew how to get movement, but we were missing this piece of the mindset. And so I teamed up with a dear friend, Robin, and we created a mindset program. And we feel like it just all works hand in hand perfectly. It's like virtually impossible to get all the nutrients you need with the stuff we buy at the store. And Top Shelf Nutra has those nutrients. And I'm so excited to talk about the shake, by the way. I just baked a pumpkin roll with it today to make sure I could vouch for it. I vouch for it, as well as the cat that was in here licking it before we started. I had to boot her out before we started. But yeah, it's been an incredible journey. It's been an incredible journey, and I'm so grateful for the knowledge that I've gained, but more importantly, for how I feel.
Fantastic, Jen. That's just awesome. And I did go ahead and take the share down because I wanted them looking at you before they were looking at all these recipes. But I
That's
do
okay.
I do have a few of those recipes up if you want to bring those up quickly and you can just talk about them. If that works, let me go ahead and
That's
share.
great. Yeah, just flip over. We have just a couple pictures here, but one of the things that I love about the Vital Shake is that people get sick of drinking shakes. And so there's different ways you can make them amazing, right? You can add ice and strawberries, make ice cream. But these are some recipes that you can make and have them, I mean, as a meal, if I dare say. So here is the pumpkin roll, which is very famous in the fall. I don't know why, but I only eat pumpkin stuff in the fall. Once fall's over, I'm done.
So if it's
So
fall, then you'd go to this one.
yeah, then you go to the chocolate peanut butter roll. And these are the only two that I put on here, but I have a strawberry lemon roll, a mint chocolate roll. Like there's tons of them. They're my favorite way to do it because you just take a little slice here and there and it's fine. I mean, each one of there's no sugar in these. Each one of them is one carb, I think, each slice, and they're just packed full of nutrients because we've got this awesome shake in it.
Wonderful. So I love breakfast with our shake. So how did you do this?
So this is amazing. This was everything I ever have, I swear, is from a craving. I'm like, remember when we used to make pumpkin pancakes and then we start developing. So yeah, this pumpkin pancake recipe, I'm happy to share the recipes to all of these. So put a thumbs up in the comments if you want them. But it uses the fuel. And the thing is, sometimes people are worried, like they'll look at the pumpkin roll and go, okay, it takes a whole entire cup of fuel. But the reality is a cup of fuel is about 2 servings of the shake, but it makes about 24 slices of the roll. So it lasts you quite a while. And it's the same thing with the pumpkin pancakes. Whenever I make stuff like this, if I'm going to take the time out to get all my stuff out and make it, I just do like a double, triple batch and I freeze.
Hmm.
That
All
way
right,
we have
about
them.
this one.
Waffle. That's a waffle. Super easy. Make it in 2 seconds. So yummy, uses the fuel, the keto crepes. This recipe actually was not my original recipe. We took it and we doctored it up a little bit, but so delicious. This is the first treat I ever had when I changed my way of eating and I thought I had died and gone to heaven.
And when you say fuel, it's the Vital Shake, right?
Yes, sorry.
You're,
Sorry,
you're just
everyone.
fine.
Texas sheet cake.
Okay, we're all going to get really hungry here. Look at this one.
This is another favorite. And like one recipe of this makes 72 of these little mini donuts. And listen, if you don't want to take the time, this donut maker is like a waffle iron. Just make them in muffin cups and make mini caramel spice muffins. So this is my recipe site. Yeah. This is my recipe site here. It's livingyourketolife.com. And I just made this coupon code. I'm like, oh, I got to make one for everybody. If you go on there and you want to get my site, it has, I think, over 250 recipes, along with all the fuel recipes, which I'm happy to share those anyway. But if you go on there and you type in the code best price in all caps, when you buy the bundle, you'll get 66% off. It's a one-time fee. You never have to pay again. Super cheap. It's actually the cheapest I've ever sold it.
And
So
we love that
yeah,
because you're getting access to so much as far as the videos and the pictures and the ingredient list and the instructions and all the recipes. I mean, it's such
yeah,
value. So thank you, Jen.
yeah,
I
absolutely.
mean, I want that fajita chicken that I see right there.
I know that fajita chicken there. I knew when I made a good recipe because my husband would say, if you ever ask me what's for dinner and you don't know, it's this. This is what I want. He loves it.
And
So
what
easy.
about that white chicken bean soup or something? I remember.
The creamy white chili
Ah, yes.
actually doesn't have beans, but
Oh,
that chili, and see, we're in chili season too. That chili has won probably 8 awards across the nation that I know about as being #1 in a chili cook-off.
so good. All right.
Delicious.
So here is the big announcement for tonight. This is the Kurt Elder special. And Jen, you need to know Kurt always steps up and makes it better than what it was. So not only did he bring the price down on the 2-pack, but he's throwing in a free book.
I haven't even ordered any. I guess that it,
For the first 50 customers
okay.
who's going and buy this. Somebody's not muted. But anyway, um, Kurt's going to throw 50 of these recipe books in for people who take advantage of the 2-pack. So when you look in the back,
Hopefully it doesn't take long. It's just from
let's see if
friend
I
and
can find
company.
out
I'm trying to see if I can mute him, but I
So I can
can't.
go order it right now.
who's talking. I can't tell. If you're not on mute, oh, there we go. I think I found it. All right. So we're excited about this. Jen, tell us a little bit about this Mindset 60, and then we're going to close this and ask some questions.
Okay, so Mindset 60 is this amazing program. Okay, usually it's amazing, you guys. It's $1 a day for 60 days total. That's it. $60, 60 days. And it's a coaching program where we literally, Robin and I take your mind and we completely change it. And all of a sudden, now you're going to have the nutrients, you're going to have all the information you need, and you're going to have this amazing mindset that helps support you to be successful on your journey. So that's what it is. It's an amazing program. We're very, very proud of this program. And it includes coaching with us. It includes little small video lessons that are not ridiculous, time-consuming things. But that's what it is. And Todd, I was telling you about this earlier. When we are teaching our clients, when we're doing this and we're coaching, it's so crucial for us to, one, talk about adding nutrients in. We don't focus a lot on food in Mindset 60 because it doesn't matter how you eat in this, but the nutrient part of it is so important. And, we have a lot of nutrients that support hormones and how hormones are working. There's a lot of hormone is almost a buzzword in the media today, but insulin is a hormone. We have a hormone that tells us when we're full. We have a hormone that tells us when we're hungry. And if you're somebody who finds that could eat all the time, or you don't know when you're full, it could be that your insulin and your leptin and your ghrelin is out of whack. And here's the crazy thing: if one of them is out of whack, all three of them are, because they work off of each other. And so when we have all these nutrients that supplement these hormones, all of a sudden your body is just like, I'm so happy I've learned how to do this. Those hormones start working again. You start learning to eat for hunger instead of all the other reasons we eat. And I'm telling you, if anybody ever wants it, I have a great class. I come on here, teach it to you in 20 minutes. It'll change your life forever, instantly, the moment the class is over. And it's just from the things you hear there. But Mindset
I'm
60
not sure
is.
if everyone else heard that, but that sounded like Jen offered to come and do another class for us.
I would be happy to. I am so passionate about. We made it $1 a day, not because we were looking to make big bucks. That was not what we were looking to do. We were looking to be able to cover our costs to get this message out because we are incredibly passionate about it. And we really do think it's a missing piece out there, and if you're one of those people who does a challenge is over, and you just do whatever you want until the next challenge. You know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about. Like, you're always starting over. Chances are your hormones are just a little bit out of whack. And so you get these supplements in and we start working on the other things, and life is just awesome. So
Wonderful.
It's really cool.
And there's a little bit more about it, right?
Oh yeah. This is just a Facebook group that we have where we just give valuable information. So it's a great one. And we love it. We'd love to see everybody on there. But yes, Todd, if you ever want me to come back and teach that class, I'm so happy to do it, because I could even bring Robin along with me. She's amazing too.
That would be wonderful. We'd love that. And we love to partner up with all the good that you're doing, because we all need each other. Top Shelf Nutra can't provide all of those classes and courses and training. So we're focusing on the supplements, and you're focusing on the mindset and the recipes. And together we're able to give everybody what they need. So that's fantastic. All
Yes.
right, Jen, a couple of questions.
Okay.
I would like you to just share how it works for you as a coach when someone comes to you and says, okay, I don't know what to eat. I've had this diet. I've followed this program, I've gone on a fast, I've done this, right? And yeah, I lost some weight, but it came back. And they come to you and they say, Jen, I just want to know what I can do that will work. What do you say?
Well, oh shoot, hold on, I lost you. Can you still see me?
We can see you.
Okay,
Yep,
I
we
hit a
can.
button and everything was gone. When people come to me with that, typically they're just so confused because they've done everything. And I mean, I have two, so it's really easy for me to relate to that. But the very first thing is just don't worry about what you're taking away. Worry about the nutrients you're getting in and focus on those. So here's what I mean by that. And I'm very serious about this. If you focus on getting the nutrients in first, there's actually not going to be as much room for the stuff that doesn't benefit you. So priority is always supplements, right? Supplements don't take up space. I mean, if you're doing a shake, then you've got a meal replacement. So obviously that is your meal. But if I'm eating a meal, I will tell people to start with your nutrient food first, circle around to the less nutritious, and see how you really feel about it when you get to the end. Because let me give you an example with this, Todd. You sit down in a Mexican restaurant, and what's the first thing that's offered you?
Chips and salsa.
Chips and salsa. I love chips and salsa. I love chips and salsa. Kurt, if he's on here, can vouch for he saw me literally turn into a version of Cookie Monster with chips, where chips were flailing out of my mouth. I'm not kidding.
It was disturbing.
It was really bad, but I love chips and salsa. So what if instead of telling yourself, instead of white knuckling it, you go to a restaurant, you're like, I don't want to have the chips and salsa. I know they're not maybe the best thing for me, but instead of white knuckling it and saying, okay, I'm not having any, and then you're just sitting there and they're staring at your face and you're hearing everybody crunch them. What if the verbology changed and now it was, I'm going to eat my dinner and then I'm going to see if I still want chips and salsa. So now you're eating your nutrient-rich food, you're reaching into your bag and grabbing your supplements, because I always take mine when I'm eating my meals, and you're getting all your good stuff. And then at the end of dinner, you're like, do I really want those chips or not? Maybe you do. Chances are you're not going to eat the whole bowl of them. You may have just a couple, or you may go, you know what? It's not that important to me, actually. I just wanted it because it was there. So eating that to me, it's not cut this out, cut this out, cut this out. That will come in time. But it's more when you're first starting and you've been really confused for a long time, focus on getting your nutrients in first.
Fantastic. Okay. So another question. I noticed in your book here, right, in your recipe book, that each of the macros are laid out on each recipe. So it's telling me my calories, my fat, my protein, my net carbs. How important is it that I count all of these macros with every meal?
Well, I hope you like my answer to this, Todd, because I have changed my view on this. There was when I did, and actually I think you were like this, Todd, too. When we first started keto, I didn't count anything. I had breakfast I ate when I was hungry. So breakfast, maybe it was at lunch, but like you're eating when you're hungry. I always had a shake for one meal, always, no matter what, that was one of my meals. And just because how I did it. And then when I ate, I just made sure they were good whole foods and really well. Well, as I started getting more into it and understanding more, then I'd be like, oh yeah, you should have this and you should have this and you should have this. And for me, it kind of complicated it. It complicated it when I was coaching people, it stressed them out. And so I've kind of come full circle back to eating good whole foods, which you completely understand the ingredients which are in there. I'm very pro healthy fats. Like keep those healthy fats going in. Also, a reason I love this shake is that it's very rare that you find a shake that has one, healthy fats that are good for you in it without the garbage, and two, a shake that has more fat in it than protein without adding to it yourself. And so I love that about it. But I am back to the philosophy of listening to your body. And when you don't stress so much about your perfect balance, but make sure you're getting the nutrient foods in, and then stopping when you're full and keeping it simple. It does not have to be hard.
Very good. Thank you. I love that. All right. So how about this yo-yo diet thing? What's your advice on the yo-yo?
Get rid of the yo-yo. When we do our Mindset 60, the 60 days, we do not really talk about food unless somebody brings up an experience that happened. So, but we're not like teaching a particular, we eat different. Even Robin and I eat different. And but after nutrition night, after Mindset 60, if people want to move on and they want to move to more simple nutrition, they have the opportunity to do nutrition 90. And in there is where we really focus on the foods. We threw away the food pyramid. We use, we're real big believers in a food funnel, and it's talking about food and really focusing on the foods that don't spike your insulin, but not saying you have to say no to them, like if it's really important to you, and kind of going through all of that. So yo-yo diets are just that. They are a diet. If there's a way that you particularly like to eat and you're getting all the nutrients you need and it's supporting you and you're getting the results you need, you have to really listen to how you feel, because just because I want a donut at every meal doesn't mean I'm going to feel good if I eat a donut at every meal, unless it's that caramel spice one we showed you. But it's really listening to that and understanding your body. So I think there's a lot of different ways that people eat that bring them a lot of success, and it's figuring out what way you feel the best. But, one thing I wanted to say too, because on this Vital Shake, it is higher in fat than it is protein, which is exactly what I love. But if there was somebody out there who wanted it to be higher in protein, you can make that happen. Like, it's still a whole food. I have not seen any shake on the market that, like, this is just good and it tastes good. It's not chalky. Like, you could add a little bit of beef gelatin to it and now you've got more protein. There's lots of things you can do. So you don't have to get so stressed about being very specific with things. I stay keto. My body just works better burning ketones. I'm going to tell you that right now. When I am burning ketones, I feel 100%, 110%. When I'm in insulin burning mode, which happens sometimes, I don't feel the best. I know I'm not going to feel the best. And then I just jump back in and I'm okay, because the real world is me on cruises and vacations and tortilla chips sometimes.
Love it. Okay, well, so a couple more questions here. I won't keep you too much longer, but
You're okay.
we have had a couple of people that at times have maybe reduced or got off or got lazy on their supplements, and things happened, and then they got back on. And I know you shared a couple of things from your own life and your family. Share with us a little bit of what you've learned with regards to the nutrition and the ability to reduce inflammation and things like that.
Don't get off your supplements. That's what I've learned. The last year and a half has been crazy over at the Winder household. Life happens. We have 6 kids, all who are adults. I'm empty nester now. But with that, I've had some worries about some situations that some of them were in. And at the same time, for some reason, turmeric and ginger and muscadine stopped going into my mouth. And here's the irony. I still was eating the way I eat, which is very, very clean. And my cortisol shot through the roof from the stress. So not only did my cortisol shoot through the roof, but I didn't have the supplements that would help me with my cortisol. So it was like a double whammy, and the inflammation was real. I was not feeling good. I was tired all the time. I put on some weight. And so about 4 months ago, I'm like, you know what? We're going to get these supplements going back in me. We're going to keep them going. And it has been a complete turnaround. It's just like, it's so funny that we can know something is so great for us and still be negligent. I don't know if that's the right word about doing it. It's like knowing isn't doing. I mean, I've told my kids that their whole life. I know you know, but are you doing it? And it's kind of like I should write that across my refrigerator. Knowing is doing isn't doing because it was a big deal to me. And I feel a lot better and my skin feels better. Just there's so many different parts that you're like, wow, okay, I remember this feeling. I'm not going to forget it now.
Fantastic. Thank you. All right. Our last question, because 50 people are going to go get the free recipe book right now, right? They're going to
Hey,
go get that.
do
But
it.
what the last question is if somebody is watching this and they're like, okay, I don't know where to start. What can I do tomorrow? Tomorrow morning, I'm going to start. What would you say they should do tomorrow morning? What would be the best choices they could make? Maybe walk them through their meals for tomorrow.
Well, using the
They have the
cookbook,
recipe book and the fuel.
if you have the recipe book and the fuel,
Or
okay,
or access to your website. Yep.
or my website, because yes, some of those recipes we showed, I don't think are in the cookbook. So I would say this is my first warning. If you're going to start something new tomorrow, don't go in and empty out every single cupboard and go spend $1,000 at the grocery store. That's overwhelming. So what I do with ingredients is as they run out, I replace them. So if, as things run out, replace it. But when it comes to it for breakfast, I'd probably make myself, when I first started, I had a keto fuel shake for breakfast every morning. That's what I had. How easy is that? All you have to do is put it in, stir and mix. My favorite way to have it is shake in the blender. Oh, not keto fuel, sorry, Vital Shake. I'd have Vital Shake and I would add a strawberry, maybe two, water and ice, and I'd blend her up. And then I would drink that up and I'd sip it through a straw and enjoy it like I was having a smoothie. If you are more of a hot food person in the morning, then I would probably make myself an omelet because I'm a breakfast girl. So I love omelets and that's super easy. And most people have eggs and veggies in their fridge and a little bit of cheese. Lunch, you could do a shake or just so many things. In my recipe book, there's a chicken salad that's delicious. My son, who's been away from home from 2 years, almost every Monday makes a batch of chicken salad and he eats it the whole week. He loves it. So you could do something as simple as that. And for dinner, I'm a food girl at dinner. I rarely have a shake at dinner. I know some people do, but I like food. So I'd probably go in there and make me some chicken Alfredo. And here's the thing. We used to tell you to use like zoodles, which are fine. I used them for years, or spaghetti squash. These all take still a little bit of prep. If you want it really easy, you make the Alfredo sauce and you get hearts of palm, linguine, or angel hair pasta. And all you do is open the package and pour the sauce over it. Super good. So,
and just to throw in the simple guy, what I would do, I love just pancakes and waffles. They're easy to make. I can even
yeah.
use them as the bread for a sandwich. And I do try to replace one meal with the Vital Shake and then just try to choose a little smarter on the meals that I eat. I'm not gonna say that I've cooked these, but I've eaten them. And
He
they're
has had them, almost every one of them cooked for him.
That's right. I'm spoiled that way. Well, Jen, this has been wonderful. I don't want to keep you any longer because I don't want to wear out the welcome. We want to have you back again. So thanks. Everybody go ahead and unmute. I'd love you to tell Jen Winder how excited we are to have her back and tell her thank you for taking so much time with us this evening on our Top Shelf Nutra Zoom.
Thank you, Todd. It was so much fun to be back with everybody.
Thank you, Jen.
Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Thank
Jen.
you, Jen.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jen.
Feel
Take
employment
care.
out of Nashville.
Good to see you.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thanks, Jen.
Oh, there's Kurt. He showed his face.
Hey, you know what? Who's
Hey,
still on
how's
the
it?
line?
Thank you, thank you. Grown.
Hey, Todd.
Thanks, Jen. It's good to see you. Thanks,
Bye.
Kurt.
Good to see you.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Jen.
Thanks, everyone.
You have a great evening. Bye.
Take care. I'll lead in on that.
Yeah, these are her products.